Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. I am still in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Just for some extra information, last night there was an earthquake near one of the islands, but I'm still around. We don't have COVID-19 here. Apparently, it's gone already. Whether this is the truth, I don't know, but I'm still alive, so this is a good thing. Okay, so this morning, it's morning for me. My friend Sue Tiong, it's afternoon for her. She will be introducing herself later on. And this video, again, Fight Against Racism campaign. So today, I again want to talk with Sue about the victim mentality or victimhood that a lot of people experience sometime or throughout their lives. And what Sue will be focusing on is she'll be talking about overcoming the victim mentality. Now, the victim mentality, you can have it for many reasons, because of oppression, discrimination, circumstances. There's many reasons why you would feel that you are a victim of something. I've invited Sue today because she knows how to target this issue, which is to overcome the victim mentality. So without further ado, I'm going to get Sue to introduce herself. So hi, Sue, please introduce yourself to everybody and tell us a little bit, give us a little bit of your background.
Hi, Celeste. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, again.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And I like it that we just talk freely and it just flows. I'm Sue Tiong. Originally, I come from Borneo. I'm now residing in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's the capital city of Malaysia. And Malaysia is between Thailand and Singapore. And Malaysia is where Celeste's husband is from as well. And that's how we met in Malaysia. And I also have a very close affinity to Africa as well, having visited South Africa three times and also coach women and men from Africa, the African continent. And I do find a lot of similarities between different continents, the people of different continents, because there's always this common denomination of feeling like we are not being treated fairly by the government, by the society, by the culture, and also especially when you are a woman or a man, there are some sort of discrimination that happens to us, or some background or some policies that somehow we feel that is suppressing us. So I deal with a lot of this with my clients as well. And also I have experience dealing with hardcore poor, like extreme poverty women and families, and also battered women, abused children and youth. And there is a lot of heavy energy dealing with these things, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So when talk about victimhood, I say, okay, I can talk about this because in situations like that I have just explained, when you are in a circumstance where you are in a very dire situation, it's so easy to just put up your hands and say, I'm a victim, So yes, I'm looking forward to discuss this topic with Celeste today.
Okay, so the first thing, because I want you to just speak freely and you can go anywhere with the topic where you want, because I would like you to just go into why you think people, or from your experience, why people adopt this victim mentality, because a lot of people don't, but there's a lot that do, and then how they can, like today, like in their normal life, how can they try to overcome not getting stuck in it, but like I always use this phrase, but to rise above it, like to rise like a phoenix, because to rise out of the ashes and then to soar, so that this does not control your life. And these days, because especially the young people, they like to, it's like a fashion now to be a victim, which doesn't help society, because if we have too many victims, we cannot prosper. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, thank you, Celeste. Okay, talking about why people like to resort to like war is me. I am the victim. The world owes me a lot. I can't do anything about it. It's other people's fault. I think it's ingrained from childhood. They learn from the adults, and how did the adults learn that? I feel that it's a coping mechanism, because sometimes when things are overwhelming and they feel that it's too much for them to bear, it is easier to point the finger and blame another person or another factor, so that you feel better about it, and then it became a habit, and you somehow just make that a habit that became a culture. So the young people learn from that. But yeah, I have dealt with the millennials, in a sense that some, I won't say all, some do adopt the victim mentality, saying that, oh, I'm wrong. People wrong me. Okay. Yeah, it's not because I'm not good. It's because they can't appreciate how good I am. That's why I didn't get a job. It's not because I am not good enough, but it's because I was born into this kind of family. I don't have that connection to get into this company, that kind of thing. But on the other hand, the same group of millennial, there are also millennials who are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
They take ownership of their life. They work very hard for what they want. And these are the people who really make it in the society. So, and then you can also have same family with different children, but they have different attitude towards life.
Mm-hmm.
So what separates them is the taking ownership of their life, whether or not they want to play victim or they want to rise above it and say, hey, the past is the past. I'm going to do the best I can now and make do with what I have. So that is dealing with the youth. And as for the older people, it really depends on the individual as well. And I do get a lot of people who likes to complain.
Mm-hmm.
So usually people who likes to complain likes to sit where the victim mentality is at. Because when you are a victim, you don't have to take responsibility over anything at all. And you just point the finger and say, oh yeah, that is my father's fault, it's my mother's fault, it's my ancestors' fault for choosing this country to settle in, all that thing. So it can really, whatever you tell them, they will have a way to rebut and say that, oh yeah, it's all other people's fault, it's never my fault. And what can you do about it? No, I cannot do anything about it because I'm doomed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was born this race, I was born in this family, I was born in this country, I'm this citizen, I cannot do anything about it. So there will be a long list of why they cannot be who they want to be. And because they cannot be who they want to be, they will start to blame. There's a long list of blames. And they say, yeah, I'm the victim. And they feel good about it. And,
Mm-hmm.
and then I do find that they find a certain kick out of that. Like, yeah, I like to be a victim. Let me continue to be a victim so I have something to talk about. So it becomes like an addiction of sorts. Like, yeah, that's my comfort zone. That's my chocolate. I don't want to give it away. So yeah, I'm going to continue to be a victim until the day I die. So when you're dealing with that kind of people, usually I would just try to let them see another side of things slowly. But if they're really adamant to hold on to what they believe is right and they don't want to step out of that pain of being a victim, then I would just say bye. Yeah. So, and then also there are also certain people, no matter how hard their life is, they really don't take that as an obstacle for them to make it in life. And those are the people that don't go towards the victim mentality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I like to give a very good example. This is very close to my heart. There is this girl. When I first met her, I met her in the national selection when I was looking for a mentee from South Africa. So she wrote in and she passed my test and she underwent a trial for a few months where I took on a group of mentors and she emerged the champion. And what sets her apart from the rest is because she was born into a poor family in the rural Durban. It's like about 4 hours drive away from Durban. So she put herself through college. She paid for her rent through business. She even put her little brother through college just by having a side business.
Right.
And then fast forward a few months, I met another girl online, and she wrote to me, and she started telling me about her life and everything, and she wants to be rich, she wants to make money. And then the stark contrast that I see between these two girls is this other girl kept complaining about how terrible life is for her.
Right.
Okay, so we have these same two girls from the same country, yes, similar circumstances, but one plays a victim and another one don't make that hold her back.
Yeah.
And right now she's a very successful businesswoman. She bids for government tenders, and her brother has graduated, she has graduated. Yeah, so I mean, like, it's really up to the individual whether or not you want to play the victim card or you want to just put that aside and go ahead with your life.
Yeah, because it really holds people back, because I see people, like, especially like now with all this Black Lives Matter issue, is that people blame the color of their skin because they cannot get ahead. And the thing is, this is a fact in many cases. It's the same, like, women, we complain that because of sexism, we cannot get ahead, or the LGBTQAI, I call the alphabet people, they have an issue. They also have a problem, they cannot get ahead because of their sexuality, and or disabled people. Everybody has, or people who are holding themselves back. They're playing victim because they are in relationships that don't work. And so, like you say, they will blame, instead of looking at the other factors that you have as a human being. Because, example, your skin color is not everything, right? It's not, you are more than your skin color. So they like focus only on, or like, my sexuality, I'm a homosexual. So they focus only on like one layer of the entire human being. And then I think this is also what pushes them down, and which this is probably 10% of who you are. Like, my skin color is just 10% of who I am. The rest, there's so many other layers, and then they always get stuck in this thing. And then the other thing is, because it's a fashion now, seems to be a fashion. Oh, I'm black, my life is bad. And although you're black, but you're a little bit whiter, so you're a little bit better. It's like, and I know it's like a competition of victim status. Like, I'm more of a victim than you, because although you are disabled, you can have a wheelchair. I'm black, I cannot change my color. So it's this, and it's like, it's a never-ending story. And
that is why I say it's like an addiction. Like, it's like a comfort that they want to hold on to. They identify so much with it that it consumes their entire being, and their entire life just revolve around that 10% or maybe 1% of who they are.
Right.
So I feel that there's really a shame and a waste of life, because there's more to life than what you are born as and where you are born, and also which family belong to, what's your background, which school did you go to, all the things that happened to you, or maybe you were raped, or maybe you were abused, or maybe you were abandoned, but that is only one part of you, and it doesn't define the entire you. So you have seen many people who survive even worse, and somehow they rise above the adversity. They emerge triumphant. They are so successful, and they are so chill, and they don't blame anyone, and for anything they even forgive their perpetrators.
Right.
So people who are perceived as wrong them, they even forgive them, because they don't forgive it because it was right. They forgive it for themselves, because they have to move on with life, and it make them stronger. So I feel that these kind of people who emerge above all these things, that put all these things behind them, they don't let that define them. And life don't happen to make it more difficult for you. Life happen not to you, but for you, for you to see another side of things, for you to see that you are stronger than this, for you to see that you have the power to change whatever that you are in right now. You don't like it, change it. Not just stay there and say, oh yeah, continue doing that. And there's a simile that one of the coaches that told me before. People don't like changes, and they kind of relish the pain so that they have something to talk about. So it's like an animal, maybe you like a dog, a cat, or whatever, an animal who sits on top of a nail, and that nail is not sharp enough, but it's sharp enough to make them, like, sting them a little bit, and they just kept sitting on that nail, and it's not painful enough for them to get their butt out from that. So they just keep sitting on it and say, oh yeah, it's painful. And they keep talking about it. Yeah, it's painful. It's painful. I don't want to get up. I want to keep talking about this pain. So they're just stuck there, sitting on that nail and just complaining about that pain. But it's not a life and death situation. So they're like, okay, I'll just continue sitting here. So I have something to talk about. I don't want to leave this space or else I have nothing to talk about, So if it's not painful enough, there won't be change. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't complain about things when it's unfair, but there is a limit to how much you complain before you do something, right? And of course, there are really things that you cannot change. So to people like that, I would say, see what you can change. See what you can change. You start from your reaction. Start from your own reaction. Instead of feeling so strongly and so negatively about it that it's like a dead end. No, cannot. Why not you create your own reality? Create your own economy. If let's say you say the economy is so terrible that you cannot even get a single cent out of it, then create your own economy. Make the existing economy obsolete. Create something that is so mind-boggling that you will be able to offer what the world has not offered yet. And if you say that no, I can't do it, then find something that you can do. It can be something as simple as cooking. Maybe the way you cook is different from my mother or your mother or whoever. So I don't know, there are just so many mentality. And I find it also, there's also a real life case where I met this lady. She says that she wants to help the ladies in the rural areas to earn a living, microeconomy, country, arts and craft. So she really transported the sewing machine, like 5 of them, to the village, and the women preferred not to learn, and they rather sit there and chit chat, waiting for the vans to come from the agencies, from the government, to give handouts to them.
Right.
And yet they say, oh, my life is so terrible, I have no money. But when there's an opportunity for them to learn a new skill so they can sell their crafts, they said no. So it's really a decision. It's really a decision.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because like you said, also certain things you can't change. Like example, your skin color you cannot change, but you don't need to use it to bring you down. Because it's
people already bring you down because of that. You don't have to agree.
Yes, you yeah. But I mean, I have another program about the skin color thing. So what I want to ask you is, so your do you do online mentoring by any chance?
Yes. Most of my mentoring are online.
Okay, so like if I have people on this side, I can connect them with you.
Yeah, we'll see whether we are a good fit.
Right.
Because, human. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because this is also the reason my campaign that I'm doing, like I explained to you and everyone else who's been kind enough to join me in helping people to live better lives, is that it's I'm trying to connect people with issues with people who can help them. So that it's because everyone has different issues and need different people that can help them to heal or to move forward from where they are. And so what I will do is because this was, our time is almost up, and was what I would really love to do is for you to just maybe I will get your credential, your online link and everything, and then I can add it in my video.
I'm actually very Googleable. You can just Google my name, Sue, S-U-E. My surname is T-I-O-N-G, Sue Tiong. I have a website where there's a contact form, and I'm also on Facebook. You can send me a message on my business page or my personal page. I feel that physical distance should not be a reason for people to be apart, and I've already propagated the use of online connections way before the COVID-19. So for now, it's just like business as usual for me.
Yes.
And I deal with a lot of people all over the world, especially women and youth.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some men as well, but they are the minority. So mostly women, and yeah, we are actually very similar, more than we can think of. Like you'll be surprised that we may look different, we may speak different, but ultimately deep down we are really pretty much the same. We are humans. And the things that the problems that we think is unique to us actually is quite common actually.
Right, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, Sue, for joining me in this interview and also with this campaign. And keep well, and I'll speak to you again.
Yeah, thank you, Celeste, for having me. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.